Today we are going to study about nervous system. Nervous system is found in all chordates or vertebrates. Nervous system control and coordinates our body organs and various functions. Nervous system control and coordinates the various body organs and their functions. And nervous system is made up of mainly nerve cells. Which are called neurons. So first, this is made up of nerve cells, and nerve cells are called neurons. Second, neuroglia cells. All of us, nerve cells or neuron. Neuron is the structural and functional unit of nervous system. Structural unit. Nerve cells or neuron compose the structure of nervous system. That means nervous system achieve the structure by the nerve cells. So the nerve cell is the structural unit of the nervous system. The main function of nervous system is to conduct the nerve impulse, and that is conducted by the neuron. So a neuron is the functional unit of nervous system. Therefore, we can say that a neuron is the structural and functional unit of nervous system. Now, structure of a neuron. A neuron has mainly two parts. First is cytone or cell body or perikaryon. Second is axon. Now, structure of a neuron. Now, this is the diagram of a neuron. The upper or anterior part of the neuron is the star shaped, and these have protoplasmic projections, and these protoplasmic projections are known as dendron. These dendrons ends in the fine fibers, and these fibers are known as dendrites. The main part of the cytone is made up of a cell. That means actually the cytone is a cell. This part is a cellular part. And the cytoplasm, that cytoplasm is called the neuroplasm. This is nucleus, nucleolus, nucleus, granules, which is present around the nucleus. Axon, myelin sheath, Schwann cell, and this part is the axon, and the elongated process or the projection is the axon, which is covered by myelin sheath, and myelin sheath is made up of Schwann cell, and the myelin sheath is not continuous, it is interrupt, or at some interval it is forming a what? Gap, and that is called the node of Ranvier. And nerve endings, axon, at the end of the axons there are the terminal nerves, or axon endings. And the function of the neuron is to transmit the nerve impulse from receptor organ to the brain or spinal cord, or you can say the central nervous system, and also from the motor impulse is transmitted by the neuron from the brain or spinal cord to the effector organs. Now, neuron, types of neuron. Neuron is of three types. First, unipolar neuron, and this neuron has only the cell body and axon. Second, bipolar neuron, and these have two poles, one dendrite and dendron, and third is multipolar neuron. And this is a diagram of multipolar neuron. The axon of the neuron is called the nerve fiber. That means the axon is also known as nerve fiber. And these nerve fibers are covered by myelin sheath, but in some they do not covered by myelin sheath. So according to this presence and absence of the myelin sheath, there are two types of nerve fibers. First, myelinated or medullated nerve fibers. And second is non-myelinated or non-medullated nerve fibers. The myelinated nerve fibers always covered by myelin sheath. Which is a fatty sheath. Made up of Schwann cells. Axon, Schwann cell, myelin sheath. And this type of nerve fiber is present in the chordates or vertebrates. Non-myelinated or non-medullated nerve fibers. In these nerve fibers, myelin sheath is absent. It is not covered by myelin sheath. But Schwann cells are present around it. Schwann cells are present around it. Axon and Schwann cell. But in this, myelin sheath is absent. Longitudinal section of a part of axon. This is a part of axon and this is the myelin sheath, Schwann cell. The cytoplasm of the axon is known as exoplasm. and this is mitochondria, and fibers, fibrils. That fibrils are known as neurofibrils. Neurofibrils. But the cytoplasm of axon lack nisyl granules. That means nisyl granules which are present in the cytone but absent in the axon. And all cell organelles except the centrosome present in the neuron. Golgi body, mitochondria, endoplasmic reticulum, ribosome, etc. All cell organelles are present in the axon and cytone. But centrosome is absent because nerve cells do not divide. That means the power of division is absent in the neuron. So there is no need of cytoplasm. Hence cytoplasm is absent in the neuron. And in the body, nerve cells are arranged lengthwise. The length of the neuron is 1 meter. Length is 1 meter. The neuron is the longest cell of the body, and these arrange one after another. The dendrites make connection with the axon endings. The axon of one neuron make connection with the dendrites of another neuron. Again, the axon of this neuron make the connection with the dendrites of another neuron. So, when the nerve impulse transmitted, it passes through this axon to dendrites and then again from the axon and to dendrites. The end of the axon have many nerve fibers, and all the nerve fibers, that is, terminate into a bulb cell. And this is called synoptic bulb. This synoptic bulb contains the cytoplasm and vesicles and these vesicles have chemicals, that is the neurotransmitter. And this neurotransmitter helps in transmission of nerve impulse from axon of one neuron to the dendrites of other neuron. This forms a gap connection with the dendrites. This is the axon ending or nerve ending, and this is the end part of a dendrite, and this forms the synopsis. This point of contact with the axon ending and dendrite, this point of contact is called the synopsis. and this gap is called the synaptic cleft. And nerve impulse transmitted from axon to dendrite through the neurotransmitter. And in human body, the neurotransmitter is the acetylcholine. Acetylcholine is the neurotransmitter in the human body. Now, second is neuroglia cells. In nervous tissue, beside the nerve cells, neuroglia cells are also present. These cells are specialized and non-nervous. Specialized and non-nervous. And the number of neuroglia cells are abundance. These are more than neurons. 10 times more than neurons. And the diagram is like this. This is the diagram of a neuroglia cell. Nucleus, nucleolus, cytoplasm and cytoplasmic processes or projection. The function of these cells or neuroglia cells. First, neuroglia cells bind the nervous tissue by filling the space between them. Filling the space between them. And second function is they provide nutrition to the neuron.